Dudes, it's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we've currently got a really nice Prime Resurgence going on right now with Ashe and Inaros, but even better Prime Resurgence is starting in a few days. So I want to give you a PSA on what's happening this upcoming week with the Prime Aya. Before we go over this stuff though, make sure you sub this channel, do daily Warframe video uploads, build videos, news videos, discussion videos, all that kind of stuff in a place for Warframe content. And yes, I am making this a bigger deal than you might think because Ashe is actually available right now, and Ashe is getting reworked on the 19th. So yeah, we'll be covering that extensively when it does come out, but the Ashe rework is looking really, really good, just like this 10 skin. Okay, so yeah, first things first. The new Prime Resurgence starts in about 4 days. And that means that if you have not actually obtained items currently available, Ashe, Inaros, and their weapons, you might want to consider getting those. Mainly Ashe Prime. Ashe Prime's getting put back in the Resurgence Vault in 4 days, 22 hours. And as stated, his rework is in about 2 weeks, so if you don't get him in the next 4 days, he'll be vaulted for who knows how long. You definitely want to get Ashe for his rework. To put it in perspective, he will be basically permanently invisible with the new rework. You get one simple finisher, you'll get a chunk of your duration back. If you get a mercy kill, you'll get your entire duration back on your invis. So you're going to want this character. He's also getting some buffs to his other abilities too. That being said, Inaros is also a frame you can consider getting as well if you want to grab the next 4 days. But there is no rework for Inaros yet. There was a mini one like a year or two ago. Yeah, big thing. Make sure you get Ashe before Thursday, but the next big thing, we got the new one announced. We got Nidus and Saryn starting on Thursday. So sadly, no Nidus proto skin, but we are getting a Saryn proto skin. So you have Saryn available to farm when the proto skin launches in about 2 weeks, okay? So some things that are like, to keep on your radar for sure. Ashe, you're going to want to grab him because it'd be really good after the rework. The weapons, you could probably pass on, the Nidus Prime and the Panthera Prime. But yeah, for Saryn, let's go over some builds and stuff for Saryn and Nidus if you do want to grab them. And also show the cosmetics you might want to grab as well. So for Nidus, he's actually got a lot of good stuff as far as cosmetics. He's got a special infested Cyandana. He's got a Necromech skin. And he's got some pretty good weapons too. So that's a really good Prime access to consider if you're looking for some powerful items. Now as far as the cosmetics for Nidus Prime, you got the Crinoid Prime Cyandana, so very infested looking. I could have swore it moves around and stuff. Oh, it does just move around when you're sitting there. It's it twitches and stuff. So if you want a creepy infested Cyandana that moves when you're not even doing anything, you could try that one out. I might actually consider that. You also got the Carnolith Necromech skin. So this is a helmet and a skin for the Necromech. And I believe this will probably be multiple Regal Aya, just a heads up. But yeah, a pretty cool skin if you want to be, making your mech look different than most other players' mechs. Because not everybody has this. It's only available during Nidus Prime access. Good stuff there. Now, as far as Nidus' use in the game, I've got a relatively recent Nidus video with a build just like this. We're using Arcane Bellicose to get tons of health, and to get tons of strength. We're using Arcane Battery to get tons of armor, and we're using Parasitic Vitality to get a ton of health. So we're getting a ton of health from this, a ton of strength from this, and a ton of armor from this, all from just doing simple things. We also get even more armor from Mecha Pulse. And since Arcane Battery scales off how much armor you have, we get thousands of energy too. So a really goofy, crazy build. I'd recommend you check out the full video on that one. We also use Well of Life for infinite Crux stacks and infinite Incarnate ammo with Parasitic Link. And infinite Incarnate ammo will be good because one of the weapons coming out with Nidus is the Saryn Prime, which has a very powerful Incarnate. So the Saryn Prime Incarnate is quite good. It's basically a shotgun that turns into a rocket launcher in Incarnate form. They can take out max level enemies in one bullet. Relatively easily. So yeah, Crux really good on that one, especially with that Nidus I was telling you about, to get infinite Incarnate ammo. A good shotgun, basically, but also not the only shotgun. The Boar Prime is also comparatively strong. The other weapon with Nidus is the Magnus Prime, not the Ak Magnus Prime, a singular Magnus Prime. So in these relics for Nidus, expect there to be Magnus parts, potentially diluting what you want to actually get. The Magnus Prime singular has a special ability of hits give a 4% chance to get 100% ammo efficiency for 4 seconds. With Cascading Accuracy and the Deadly Maneuvers mod, you can do a ton of crit chance on headshots. Pretty nice synergy with that unique trait. That being said, they're not exactly my favorite. I like the Ak Magnus more than the Singular Magnus, but this augment is only for the Singular Magnus. So yeah, for Nidus himself, I would say that it's a good access, but it's definitely not as meta as Saryn. Like, as far as what missions you can run Nidus for, he's good for, like, farming endo. He's good for, like, solo survivals. He's just good to, like, you know, not to worry too much about a bunch of stuff. When you have a good build on Nidus, you'll be so tanky, you don't have to really worry about enemies in any capacity, especially with a build like Well of Life constantly healing you. He has no shield, so he's only armor and health, but he has a special pass to come back from the dead. So yeah, that's pretty good stuff with Nidus. Let's move on to Saryn. Now, Saryn Proto Skin is going to be coming out with this new update, so it's definitely something you want to consider if you don't have Saryn Prime yet. She is still a really strong frame. Now, I don't really use her as much compared to Cyto 9 nowadays for the Sobek setup, as you can have the Sobek equipped, but it's still viable to do that. Now, as far as what you can do on Saryn, she's really good at doing damage. So a build like this, you could use the Roar ability to increase the damage of your Toxin procs. And also put big corrosive damage on your weapons and your teammates' weapons with a Venom Dose Augment. But that's not all she does. She's also really good for arbitration missions, where you will spam the Ogress, the Kuva Ogress, to blast all the arbitration drones, like, basically as they spawn. Very good stuff on that one. And the list goes on. She's got lots of different builds that would work on her. Roar is really good on her. Shock can be really good on her, too, due to it, you know, being good for melee influence. Energized is very good on her. Zata's Whisper is good on her too. So yeah, guys, you have lots of options on Saryn. The biggest thing with Saryn, though, is going to be mainly her 3, giving guaranteed Toxin procs. If you don't help with off her 4th ability, she also has an AoE nuke with Miasma. A really fun, cool frame that's really powerful with her shield get from her 2nd ability, Molt. But at the end of the day, I think, at least with the Sobek, we're a little bit powerful. If you don't understand what the Sobek is going to be with her, the Acid Shells Sobek Augment mod does AoE explosions, AoE percent health explosions on kill, and that will work with her 3rd ability, applying a percent health toxin proc on kill. Very good, but again, Cyto 9 does that with electric proc, so it's they're both really good, to be fair, though. So yeah, if you want to do something like that, get the Acid Shells Augment for the Sobek. And as far as weapons with Saryn, the Spear of Prime is definitely very forgettable. There's some dual, or some throwing star weapons that don't have an Incarnon. They have pretty good stats, I guess. They've got good crit, they've got bad status, and a lot of puncture damage. So, yeah, they're pretty much entirely forgettable mastery fodder. The best part about them is that they have, like, spinning around drill appearance. Yeah, it looks really cool, but they're not very good. So, yeah, if you do want to rock this, I never do, but here is a build I have on here for corrosive headshot stuff. I would definitely not recommend, like, look, they don't even have a special ability. These are, like, completely mastery fodder in my eyes, so you can just ignore the Spear of Prime. You'll be likely getting Spear of Prime parts indirectly for opening these relics, because they'll be in there as, you know, just to dilute the table. But the other weapon with Saryn is the Nikana Prime. This thing is quite a good sword. Although it does have no Incarnon, it still has very good base stats. 28% crit and status, pretty good for hybrid. It has lots of slash damage, too. That slash damage can be a blessing or a curse, depending on what kind of build you're going for. And for me, it's kind of a curse on this melee influence build, where we go for Blast Electric to spread AoE procs. Again, it's not an Incarnon. It has good stats, though, so it doesn't have to be an Incarnon. So there's a build like this. You could also go for a heavy attack build, too, if you don't want to go for melee influence. It's just good for getting 18-meter AoE proc, or 20-meter AoE procs. So yeah, good stuff on that. As far as Saryn's cosmetics, in my opinion, they're not as cool as Nidus' cosmetics, but you got the Psychuta Prime Sigil, which is like this shiny thing right here. And you got the Psychuta Prime Syndana, which I actually like that a lot more. But it is a little plasticky looking, or rubber looking. So if you like that, go for it. I would say the best, so now that we've gone over all the stuff in this access, what are the best items from this access? It is definitely going to be the 2 frames. Saryn Prime, one of the best frames in the game, easily. Nidus Prime, he's really good. I wouldn't call him like the best frame in the game. He's definitely really fun and good to have. So yeah, those 2 frames, and also the Strun Incarnon. The Strun Prime, this thing is a very good Incarnon. You can watch my video with me using it on Nidus from a few months ago. It is a very nice Incarnon that you don't actually usually have access to. Unlike the some of the other Incarnons that burst in, it's not always farmable. It has to come back from Resurgence, and here it is in Resurgence. So that's basically it for the video, guys. Hope you found it fun and helpful. I want to give you a heads up that in less than 5 days, your boy Ash Prime's getting revaulted right before his rework. And Saryn Resurgence begins with her new skin on the way. So, see you guys then. Oh, by the way, great place to farm Aya. If you were wondering, farm Aya in bounty missions on Earth. Also, Deimos can be okay for farming Aya bounties as well, but mainly on Earth. So maybe I'll have a guide on that at some point. It's just really annoying to reroll the bounties. So I'll see you guys next time. Appreciate all the support. Take it easy. Peace.